Well, that was Pussifer with the Humbling River, but let's talk about the Humbling Hot Spring. All right, if you're going to go hiking in Yellowstone, they have like maps and stuff with designated trails. And if you're in the areas where the, big hot springs are and such, they have boardwalks. Like, they're really easy to see. They're made out of wood, and those are what you want to walk on. If you're going to visit Yellowstone, you'd think it'd be common sense. But how many stories do we do about Yellowstone tourists every year? Apparently, on Monday, a 17-year-old suffered significant thermal burns to his foot and ankle near a geyser in Yellowstone. He was out hiking, not on the designated trail, and as we've seen often enough, his foot broke through the thin crust and just went into some water that was hot as crap. And it can be very acidic. Like, there have been times when people fall in these hot springs, they're dead, all right? You can just bust through the ground and disintegrate, I mean, it's a pretty metal way to go, but if you don't go, to that extreme, then you end up with a foot that's just all messed up. It's all crappy, all right? And I would imagine that if you, really burn the crap out of your foot and ankle, it sucks really bad. You could end up maybe having to get skin grafts. Might have happened to somebody I know recently. They take some of that dead person's skin and they have to graft it onto you. And then you're like Frankenstein. You got dead people feet, Which, that's kind of metal too, but I bet it's unpleasant. But it's not very fun, so yeah, if you're going to go hiking in Yellowstone, stay on the designated trails and boardwalks. It's not that difficult. I've been there a lot of times, and maybe I'm just paranoid of horrible foot burn injuries. But yeah, I don't get off and walk on the thin crust of the thermal areas. Yellowstone, a very dangerous place. I have a really thick book at home called Death in Yellowstone that outlines all these different times people have died in Yellowstone. And that reminds me, I saw a really stupid way somebody died the other day. I'll talk about it more later on the show. You never know what kind of dangers lurk at home. I could have had a really embarrassing death the other day, but yeah, I'll save that for later on the show. Anyway, East Idaho News has some great tips on how to be safe at Yellowstone on this article about the kid stepping into a thermal pool. Walk on the boardwalk and trails. Don't touch thermal runoff. Yeah, that thing looks neat. It might burn the crap out of you. That water's really pretty. Don't jump in it, okay? You ever played Red Dead Part 2? When you go to the Yellowstone area of Red Dead Part 2, if you jump into the hot springs, Arthur Morgan dies, okay? All right? Anyway, just a typical summer day in Yellowstone, I guess. New stuff from In This Moment. Featuring Kim Dracula as well, Heretic. That band is going to be here. What was it, October? I don't remember the date. It's far enough out. Plenty of time to Google it. But actually, maybe I should pull it up because I'm curious. I can't even remember the lineup. Very sleepy this morning. Let's see. In This Moment, Idaho Falls. Okay, we've got The Funeral Portrait, Dead. I thought there was someone else playing. I guess not. I've been losing my mind when it comes to shows recently. I swear that was a 4-band show. Oh wait, that's the Boise one. Peaches didn't put that on our concert calendar. What's going on here? There had to be another band. I swear Dayseeker was playing. In This Moment, Idaho Falls. What do we got? Oh, you got to scroll past all the scalper things here. Okay, October 10th, Mountain America Center. Dun, dun, dun. It doesn't say on the Ticketmaster page who's on the bill. Okay, Dayseeker is on it. Take that, Boise. We got a better lineup than you do. And it's on a Friday night. Perfect. So many good shows. And we've been getting a lot of shows that fall on weekends. How are we getting so lucky with the tour routing? This is great. All right, anyway. What I was going to talk about was, I was hanging out with my lady last night, and she mentioned that Alaska was under a tsunami watch because of a big earthquake that happened in Russia. Set to be one of the largest ever recorded, looking like 8.8 magnitude. Quake is tied for the 6th largest on record. So not only did Alaska have a tsunami warning yesterday, but the entire West Coast did. And now, this wasn't the big quake that I've talked about before. Like at the Cascadia subduction zone. That snaps. And then the West Coast of the U.S. is going to have major problems. Yeah, this was, again, over near Russia. As I was getting ready to go to bed, I started reading some articles about this. And it was like the entire West Coast was under tsunami watch. So I called my daughter, who we're going to visit next week. She lives in Bellingham, Washington, which is up near the Canadian border on the Washington coast. And I'm like, hey, because I Googled Bellingham tsunami watch, and it's like, yes, Bellingham is under tsunami watch. Now I found out there's a difference between tsunami watch and tsunami warning. Warning's like, warning! Watch is just like, be aware, we could get a tsunami. So Bellingham's under tsunami watch, and I call my daughter, and she's like, why are you calling me so late? I'm like, you're under tsunami watch! And she's like, I'm bowling. I'm like, well, did you hear about this? Are they talking about it locally? She's like, yeah, we're fine. Settle down. I'm like, are you near the water? Are you near the bay? Stay away from the water. Stay at higher ground. Just being a dad. I don't think that anywhere in the U.S. got hit too bad by tsunami waves. I think Northern California had a little bit of action, but I didn't even see any damage reported. So that's good, but, just be aware. You never know what Mother Nature's going to do. It's kind of crazy. Yeah, magnitude 8.8 earthquake, just out of nowhere. It kind of creeps me out because of all those natural disaster documentaries that I watch. But yeah, typical, she's not even a teenager. She's 20 now. Typical kid, like, Dad, chill out, let me bowl, go to bed, settle down. Like, all right. But I don't think she was anywhere near, the water or anything like that. So kind of excited to get her moved from, she lives in Ferndale, which is like, what would I say Ferndale compared to something around here in relation to Bellingham? It would be maybe like Rigby compared to Idaho Falls, a little small town that's like real close, probably even closer. But I don't know, how low the elevation is in Ferndale. I'm like, is Ferndale going to be just covered with water? Anyway, she's fine. I checked the news this morning. Everybody's fine. But, if you're on the West Coast and you're in one of those tsunami escape route areas, pay attention to those signs. And if you're staying right down on the water, be tsunami aware. It could happen at any time. Yeah, there could be like a 50-foot wave come rolling in, and it ain't going to be good. All right, sorry. Let's roll into the 7 o'clock hour. All right, already almost 7. Show's going by quick. I dig it. Oh, I just suddenly started just kind of crashing out. Like, I need a nap. Then JD called all riled up. Woke me up a little bit more. So. At least it's Wednesday, right? Halfway through the week. If I'm smart, I can actually catch up on rest this weekend. Haven't been doing very good at that recently. Gonna give it my best shot. Got some busy times ahead, and I'm so forgetful. I don't know what my problem is, but I need to, like, put a calendar on my wall. You know, I made fun of Peaches for putting a calendar on the wall here in the studio. I'm like, dude, that's what Google Calendar's for. Why do you have a physical calendar on the wall in here? That's a crappy decoration for our studio. But, you know, then I'm, you know, just thinking this morning, and I remember, oh yeah, my brother's going to come visit soon. And I'm like, when's that? When's that happening? It's like really soon. In just a few weeks. I'm not prepared for this. And, you know, I kind of feel bad. He's going to come visit, just like when my sister came and visited. I'm not going to have any PTO I can really use because I got to use it to go help my daughter move. Yeah. So I don't know what they're going to do with all their time. Yeah. I know my brother has, you know, friends and stuff around here, but my aunt and uncle, I'm like, what are you guys going to do when I'm just like working every day? You know? I don't know. Hopefully they have some kind of fun plans lined up. I should probably get a hold of them and figure these things out. You know? Just kind of terrible about planning ahead sometimes. I got to get it together. I need to make a checklist. I need to get a calendar. I need to put like all the upcoming shows on it. And I need a game plan. You know, try to plot your life out, everybody. Don't be like me and just fly by the seat of your pants. Then you wake up one day and like, oh, geez, I got to go out of town in a week. I got family coming. I got to get my house cleaned up. I got to do some stuff here. What was going on with me? All right. Let's see. I was trying to bring up something stupid to talk about aside from, you know, me being forgetful and inefficient with planning my life. But some of the things I started reading through, I was like, whoa, okay, this could be funny. No, we can't get into that. Like, one of the threads on Reddit that I glanced at while I was talking with JD is parents who've snooped through their teenagers' stuff, what's the weirdest thing you've ever come across? And at first it was funny. You know, I mean, well, actually, the whole thread was funny, but it started getting into things that I'm like, I can't talk about that on air. But this one we could. Someone says, when I was 19, I came home from a night out with my girlfriends to my mother hysterical and crying, dramatically asking, how could you do this to me? She'd found a sandwich bag with an unknown substance in it and somehow came to the conclusion that it was heroin and I had secretly turned into a drug addict. It was small bacon-flavored dog treats for our chihuahua, which I had portioned out so they wouldn't get stale. Yeah, I don't know if... I guess you would think that parents would be able to smell the bacon treat, like they'd give it a whiff. You know, you find a bag of stuff in your kid's room and you'd smell it and be like, this smells like bacon. But I don't know. I've never seen heroin. Maybe it smells like bacon. You'd be all baffled, like, I can't believe this smells like bacon. That kid's gonna get it when they get home. But then, of course, after that, I start reading further in the thread, and it starts getting crazier. You know? Because teenagers be gross, okay? I guess we could do one more here. I went to my 10-year-old daughter's school for parent-teacher conferences and opened her locker to take a look inside. There wasn't much in it, but lying in the bottom was a book from our local library about how to plan a wedding. Not a fun one with pictures of wedding dresses and stuff. It was called Wedding Rites, a complete guide to traditional vows, music, ceremonies, blessings, and interfaith services. I was baffled, and her teachers and I had a good laugh about it. When I got home and asked her about it, she explained that she and her bestie were trying to marry their dogs to each other. And then after that, it all gets into stuff that I'm like, yeah, even though that's funny, I can't talk about it on air. What up, people? It's me. It's Viktor Wilt, surviving. Kind of like this kid I just read about. Now, give the official warning. This is potentially distressing content, okay? But it all ended up fine. This kid is hardcore, so I had to talk about it. This story took place in India. 2-year-old Govinda Kumar was playing in his home in a village in the eastern Indian state of Bihar when he saw a straight-up cobra, 3-foot cobra. So this is a 2-year-old, this is a toddler, sees a cobra, and he grabs it. Terrifying, right? Cobras, extremely venomous. Be like a kid grabbing a rattlesnake or something. So the cobra lunges at the kid, coils itself around his little hands, and instead of going, like I would, this kid, he pulled an Aussie on this snake, all right? Put the snake's head in his mouth and bites down. Arrgh! Now, this is a venomous snake, so, the kid, loses consciousness. But he's fine now. They got him to the hospital, got him all fixed up. That snake, dead. This 2-year-old toddler. Toddler versus snake. Who do you think's gonna win? Yeah. Clearly not me versus the snake. Holy crap. Anyway, he's fine. He's fine. It's funny, the doctors were like, yeah, we usually deal with 5 to 6 snake bite cases every month during the rainy season. But this is the first time we've seen such a highly unusual case where a child has bitten and eaten part of the cobra. Yeah, I mean, they can kill you within, a few hours. They paralyze your respiratory muscles. This kid, again, paying homage to the great late Ozzy Osbourne, I think. That's more hardcore than biting the head off a bat or a dove, A straight up cobra. Cobras are scary looking. They got that, I don't even know how you describe the way that the skin flares up around their head. They're creepy looking. Ugh. Anyway, good on him. Good job, kid. Quick heads up. We were having some problems with the signups on our app for the 311 ticket giveaways we're doing. Just wanted to let everybody know. If you received an error that said critical site error when you sent in your submission went through. You're all good. So don't worry about it. We got that error fixed yesterday among a whole bunch of other chaos going on around here. So it won't give you that error message anymore, but if you already signed up and did get that message, you're good to go. For the rest of you, if you want to go see 311 Bad Flower and Sitting on Saturn on the 16th of August at the Port Nephel Trust Amphitheater, well, you got to sign up in our app or just listen to me and Peaches yap on air. And at some point, we're going to throw out the cue to call, give you a chance to win tickets on air, be caller number, bleh, and then you call and win. So if you don't win, show's coming up quick, Saturday, August 16th, 311 in Bad Flower. It'll be a fun time. It's always a fun time at the Port Nephel Trust Amphitheater. So hope to see you out at that show. And I think I'll be back around, well, I don't know. The next couple weeks are just wild. Just wild. I'll probably want to take a nap on that day. Yeah. I'll just be happy to be getting back home. Bombing to Washington. Then my homie Nick's coming up for a day. Gonna bomb to Bozeman. Well, at least I think. I better look into that Bozeman trip thing. Anyway, I'm just blabbing. I gotta find some freak news, so hang on. Something really loud must have just driven by outside. I was like, what's that noise? I've even got my headphones on. Anyway, what's up? Let's do some freak news. Ugh, getting kind of annoyed right now. I've got a little bit of pain in a lymph node. Makes me nervous. I don't want to be getting sick. Definitely got to up on the vitamins. Well, I've got some vitamins with me. Gonna have to take those. I don't know. I guess better to get sick this weekend than the next weekend. So if I'm gonna, better get it out of the way. But it would still be annoying. What if I, started feeling lousy and it's not the weekend? I mean, I hate to waste a weekend being sick, but I don't want to have to use my PTO. All right, anyway, sorry. I'm just blabbering away here. All right, let's dig in. Let's see here. I know I had a story about a woman getting attacked by a raccoon. That's, kind of the whole story, but I dig these animals fighting back. Animals are getting fed up with people. This woman just walked out of her house, just letting her dogs out, living in Massachusetts. All of a sudden, a raccoon comes flying out of nowhere and just, attacks her face. I'm looking at her face here. Sometimes animals scratch you. I'd much rather get scratched by my cat than a raccoon, though. I don't know if you got to get like rabies shots in your stomach, something like that, if a raccoon attacks you. Also, they're big. They're kind of big. They got little hands. Just be kind of unnerving. Okay. What else we got here? Well, I guess it's time to give Arby's a free plug. Apparently, hot girls eat Arby's. That's the new ad campaign. They teamed up with basketball star Sophie Cunningham. Peaches might be familiar with her. He does that sports feature, the Shot Clock Sports Update at 3 p.m. every day. I'm not a sports guy, so don't pay a lot of attention. But, apparently she was spotted wearing a shirt that said, "Hot girls eat Arby's." I don't know if it's quite as good as, "We got the meats," but they'll still never top, my catchphrase, "brutal beef, liquid cheese," which that would be perfect for Arby's. But hot girls eat Arby's. All right, that'll probably end up with some dudes hanging out at Arby's, trying to find themselves a lady. And you know what? Gotta like a lady who'd mow down a cheeseburger or a beef and cheddar, right? You can buy these shirts for $20 too. It's a crop top, so you can look hot while wearing the fact that you eat Arby's on your t-shirt. So that's going on. Let's see here. I got too many tabs open. There was one article I was reading, scanning. Generally when you think of places to go on vacation, you wouldn't think, I want to go to Afghanistan, just because it sounds like it might not be a very safe place. But this guy from Dover, England, he decided to go, got up close and personal with the Taliban, and he says the 8-day trip was the best experience of his life. But this guy is also one of these dudes who goes to places nobody wants to go to, like North Korea. Yeah, let's go to North Korea. Have you ever watched any tourism videos from North Korea? Looks like it'd be just kind of creepy to me. It's a weird place. It's a weird place. So, I don't know if you're one of those folks that's into just checking out locations that most people don't want to go. Apparently, Afghanistan can be pretty sweet. I don't know. I think I'd hit the Oregon coast myself. Afghanistan just, sound kind of hot too. Like, sorry to my daughter in Phoenix, but I ain't coming to visit you right now. I'm going northwest. I wonder what the weather's like on the Washington coast. It's got to be a little bit cooler than here, right? Oh, yeah. Looking at a high today of 77. By next week, mid-60s. It's going to be great. Okay, sorry, I don't mean to brag. Would you buy an $80 popcorn bucket? You got to be a pretty big fan of a movie to drop $80 on a popcorn bucket. Guess there's a popcorn bucket shaped like Marvel's planet-devouring villain Galactus. And they were selling them at the Chinese Theater in L.A. Set a Guinness World Record for being the most expensive popcorn bucket, I guess. It's big, too. $80, though. I mean, I did buy a Ghost popcorn bucket at the Ghost movie. But I don't know, it was like $10 or something. And now it sits on my counter, and generally I put candy in it, but I've been trying to not eat a bunch of candy. Gotta slim it down a bit, all right? So, anyway, it's weird that popcorn buckets have become such a popular item. Like if you hit up, Regal Cinemas, they've got all kinds of different popcorn buckets. I wish I could have got the Dune one. The Dune one, I think, is what kicked off the popcorn bucket craze. People thought it was funny looking. It looked like a sandworm's mouth. If you haven't seen Dune, I don't know. People either love or hate the Dune movies. I really think they're really cool. Why did I say really so many times? I've got them on 4K Blu-ray. That's right. Watching the highest quality imaginable. They're really good. It's like Star Wars for, extra big nerds. And actually, Star Wars, ripped off Dune. So if you like Star Wars, you might like Dune. It's just extra strange, okay? I don't know how to describe it, but it's weird, and it's dark, and it's good. Gonna have to give Dune a good rewatch. Maybe I'll have some popcorn to go with it in the ghost popcorn bucket. But, yeah, I'm not gonna drop $80 on the giant Marvel head. Gotta save my dough for other crap. Other useless crap. Hey, I wanted to let you know, you can change your name if you want to. You can call yourself whatever you want. Did you know that? Yeah, I know somebody who just decided one day, I'm gonna just call myself by something different. And they introduce themselves with a fake name every single day. That person is me. I was reading a post online where I think this is a woman. Yeah, she decided to change her name because she said her first name has always been a boy's name and she's gotten bullied and ridiculed for it quite a bit. Now her parents insist that it's a universal name, but she's like, no, it isn't. The thing that frustrates me about the post, she doesn't say the name. I want to know what the name was. Because maybe it is universal. All right? I know this guy. He's got a girl's name. You may have heard him on my show before. His name's Jade. And he even changed his last name, but didn't change his first name. Anyway, it's beside the point. Reading through the post here, I believe this person is an adult and just decided, I'm going to change my name. And her parents just lost their mind. They're crying, they're freaking out. It's not that big a deal, all right? Now, she legally changed it, okay? I have not yet legally changed my name because I'm guessing it's a total pain, all right? So if you want to call yourself by a different name, just tell everybody that's your name, all right? You won't be able to sign any documents. If you need to go pick up a prescription or something, you got to give them your real name. Your driver's license is going to say your real name, all your cards, but who cares? You can just tell people this is my name now. That's what you call me. Some people won't do it, I go by 4 different names, all right? Aside from all the names that, people like Jade and Josh call me that are just rude. But yeah, if you've got a kid or something and they're like, hey, I want to call myself something different. All right, just let them, It's not the end of the world. Some people get a little bit worked up about these kind of things. But there's no law that says you can't call yourself by a different name. Sorry. Allergies or something. Usually I'm good at turning the mic off if I'm going to cough. It's kind of like how I've talked about marriage. You can just say, I'm married. There's no law that says you can't, call your girlfriend your wife. There's no, what are they going to do? What's anybody going to do? Tell you, but you don't have a legal document. So, that's what I'm going to call this person. What are you going to do about it? Nothing. You can't do anything. So, yeah. Seeing that somebody would cry about this, settle down. It's just a name. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, you might name your kid something, but like if one of my daughters is like, I decide I'm going to go buy blank, like, oh, okay. That might be hard to get used to, but I'll get used to it eventually. Sure, it's your life. Do what you want. All right? You know, some people get mad if their kids get like tattoos or piercings and things. Let people be people. It's their body. You know? Settle down. Anyway, you be you. All right? You be you. What up, people? How's it going? 8:42 a.m. That's old school radio stuff right there, because nobody had a clock, apparently. Hi. What was I looking at here? One of these things that, you know, kind of annoys me, even though it's good advice. To stay sharper while aging, get active, challenge your brain, and eat healthy. Yeah, I know, Internet. You don't need to rub it in. Try. I mean, definitely eating better recently than I was for quite a while there. You know, the winter months were rough. I try to challenge my brain every morning by trying to find content, share with you, and like talk to you about and stuff, and not sound like a complete moron. Getting active. Been kind of sucking on that one. I don't know. Relaxing so good. I'll work on that too. That would be a good idea. Okay, let's close that. I'm getting too many reminders about, healthy decisions. My Reddit feed is trying to punish me today, apparently, as I look for just whatever to babble on to you about. But at least I'm not working in a 130-degree greenhouse like this person online is like, am I a jerk for leaving work out early without telling anyone because it was over 130 degrees? No. You're going to die if you hang out in those kind of temperatures, all right? Google sweat lodge deaths, all right? If you're working in those kind of conditions, you're going to die. You have to leave. And, like, it doesn't have to be hot in a greenhouse, does it? Like, you can put ventilation in. You know, like, the plants are not going to die if they're not getting 130-degree humid temperatures. I don't know, maybe if you're growing a particular type of thing. I don't know. I'm not a gardener. All right? I don't run a greenhouse. But I tell you what, I mean, if it gets up to, like, I don't know, 75 degrees, I'm like, oh, hot. So hot. Got the AC blasting in here right now. Sorry for those of you who have to work out in the, hot conditions we're experiencing as of late. What are we looking at for weather in the next couple days, anyhow? Because we got that show going down in Pokey, Dropkick Murphys, Friday night. Is it going to be a scorcher? Not the biggest fan of hanging out in the sun. When I went to that last podcast on the Left show in Salt Lake, a couple weeks ago, it was hot. It was an outdoor amphitheater, and it was in direct sunlight. When they built this particular venue, I don't know what they were thinking. The Sandy Amphitheater, I'm not talking about the Pokey Amphitheater. The Pokey Amphitheater is designed, so like, at least for the artists, you're not going to be scorched by the sun as it travels through the sky on a hot summer day. The Sandy Amphitheater, I felt terrible for the artists. It's like the outdoor amphitheater at Nampa, the Idaho Center, the outdoor portion. Man, I went to Mayhem Fest with Jade one year. We were watching the band Hell Yeah play, and Vinnie Paul, big dude, legendary drummer from Pantera. He's up there in direct sunlight, just crushing it on the drums. We were in the back in the shade in a tree, and I just wanted to die. It was so hot. I don't know how Vinnie Paul made it through that set. Note to stage organizers. Don't point the stage into the sun, all right? It sucks for everybody. It's not looking too bad. It's looking like a 89 for the high on Friday in Pokey, partly cloudy. That sounds pretty good for an outdoor show. So, Dropkick Murphys, Bad Religion. It's going to be a great time. I saw a recent clip of Dropkick Murphys playing live. Stuart sent it to me. I forwarded it to my lady. I'm like, oh boy, if this is the same setup they're going to do in Pokey, there's got to be some people that are going to get mad. But yeah, made me laugh. Punk bands, man, they don't give a crap. They don't give a crap. So pretty excited for that show. As long as I don't get sick. I'm getting very concerned about this sore lymph node. And then again, I start reading these horror stories on Reddit about people with health problems. I get myself all worked up. I'm like, what if something terrible's happening to me? What if something really bad's happening to me? Settle down, dude. Settle down. You're doing okay. I think. All right, anyway. Hope to see you at the show. Friday night. Should be fun. I will be there unless I'm getting down with the sickness. I don't feel sick. I just, sore lymph node. That usually means something's going on. Something's going on. Or I slept weird or something. I don't know. All right, I'll quit babbling. I got some great news, everybody. Especially for you, Ben from the Advocates, if you're listening. It's tarantula mating season. Yeah. I was looking at a map of states where hordes of tarantulas are going to be out and about. Thankfully, Idaho isn't one of them. But basically, the entire rest of the western and southwestern U.S. could see a lot of tarantulas out all over the place. Yeah, just wanted to let you know. If you want to see them, what you got to do is you go out at night with a black light flashlight and shine it around, and then you never sleep again. Yeah, my daughter lives in Phoenix, as I've mentioned many times, and supposedly, tarantulas all over the place down there. I've never seen them. In all the times I've been to Phoenix, never seen a tarantula. But also, kind of psychos going out into the desert at night, There's scorpions. There's all kinds of stuff out there. Ugh. I don't even like going outside here at night. Because you don't know what kind of creeps are out and about. Peaches goes and walks around the river at night. Sorry, Peaches. I want you to get mad. You're not a creep. Not a creep, even if you're weird. But yeah, tarantula mating season. Apparently, there are tarantulas in Washington and Oregon as well. But that would be in the desert areas of those states. The crappy areas of Oregon and Washington that you wonder why people live there? Those areas that they're like, come on, make Idaho part of us. It's like, no, you guys just stay over there, okay? We don't need to be dumping more taxes into, somewhere that's not that good. Give us some of that coastal action. Then maybe we'll consider it. Haven't heard much about the Greater Idaho, what was it called? The Greater Idaho Coalition or something? Let's Google it up here. Yeah, the Greater Idaho Coalition. Join the movement. No. Yeah, it's funny, like, all the worst parts of Oregon are like, yeah, we're down. Please make us part of Idaho. Now, can we just have some of the good parts, okay? Come on now. Anyway, I don't think that'll ever happen, but... What, you want the areas of Oregon with tarantulas? No, we don't need that, all right? Got enough critters around here as it is. I'll stick with bears and mountain lions. I don't want to deal with tarantulas. I know they could eventually naturally migrate, but they're going to hit Boise first, all right? So we should be good to go. It's cold over here. It's cold. It's not tarantula country. If there's anything good to be said about the terrible winters we have to endure and all that garbage snow, we don't have to put up with tarantulas. But there are big spiders around here. I've seen them. I've seen some gnarly spiders, in like the foothills of Pocatello. It might as well be a tarantula, so, oh well. Anyway, just letting you know if you're road tripping somewhere, stay inside at night if you're in the desert. Nothing like coming across thousands of tarantulas. Ugh. Nightmare fuel. People take huckleberries very seriously. Like, have you ever asked somebody, hey, where can I go pick huckleberries? Yeah, they won't tell you. They're like, no, No, it's my secret spot. You can't touch my huckleberries. I'm amazed Peaches was able to find like a dozen. Well, it's not only people who know where huckleberries are that take them very seriously. Apparently the government does as well. You hear about the big huckleberry bust in Missoula? A coordinated effort between the Boundary County Sheriff's Office, the U.S. Forest Service, U.S. Border Patrol, and the Kootenai Tribe of Idaho law enforcement. Yeah, they busted them. Busted these suspected commercial pickers that had over 100 gallons of illegally harvested huckleberries. Boy, that was hard to say. Yeah. Serious issue here. I want to see they do have a picture. Okay, you know how when the cops make a big bust, they'd be like, check it out. Look at all this stuff. They put it on a table. They do have pictures of all the berries. They're like, check it out. We got them. We got them. Well, yeah, you know, people going to be jacking up the price of huckleberries. What are we going to do for our, favorite, tourist trap items at the various convenience stores that you find along the highway? Who's going to be making, that quality jam and such if we got all these criminals coming in and picking the berries? Well, anyway, they busted them, all right? So you don't got to worry. Doing the big work. No, I would imagine that if this is a serious business, like when you'd hear about, grow operations busted in the forest in California, they're like, don't go in these areas. Are these berry pickers like heavily armed? Is it the cartel? Is that why, we had to send a bunch of state police down to the border? Berry pickers coming our way, stealing our huckleberries. I don't know. But again, they got him. They got him, so we're all right. Just didn't really expect to see huckleberry bust on my news bingo card. So, yeah, that happened. Man, today's show flew by. Hopefully the rest of the day does as well. And before I go, I was reading an article from the Idaho State Journal about all the murals going up around Pokey. Shout out to Pokey for livening things up a bit. Yeah! Sorry, but we need to make it more colorful around here. Before we know it, winter's going to be here. And then all we've got is a landscape of gray and brown and tan. We need murals, people. Every city in East Idaho got a boring wall. Do you own a business and you got some boring, just dull wall? Hire somebody to paint something cool on it, Because driving around out here in the wintertime, it's so bleak. So bleak because everyone paints their houses the same colors. Drive through a new subdivision, every house white or tan. It's okay to give your house, a nice red or blue every once in a while. Maybe neon green. It's your house. You can do what you want. Unless you live in an HOA, and then they like to keep it boring. So, sorry, but at least in certain areas of town where we've got old warehouses and things. I saw an awesome mural go up in Phoenix on the side of this, I don't know if you'd call it a skyscraper, a very tall building. Looked great. Color livens things up, brings people some joy. Pokey's killing it. Last time I drove through Pokey, I'm like, this is awesome. Because there's just so much color popping up everywhere. So, Idaho Falls, where are you at? Huh? What, are you afraid? No, we need to keep it like the olden days. No, let's color it up a bit. Let's add some fun. So, yeah, shout out to Pokey for all the different things they're doing. Nice job by my hometown. I'm Viktor Wilton. I'm going to get out of here. Yesterday, there was a lot going on around here, and I apologize that I did not provide a noon hour of Madness and Mayhem show. We had plenty of madness and mayhem going on. It just couldn't happen. But hopefully today I will be doing one. I don't know who's going to join me on it, if it'll just be me or what, but I'm going to give you some kind of show, I think. That's the plan as of right now. So unless we have complete meltdown in the next 2 hours, it should be happening. Anyway, I appreciate you listening to the show today. Hope you have an awesome rest of the day, and I'll be back in a bit. All right? Peace. Thank you again for tuning in to the Viktor Welch Show. This program is a production of Riverbend Media Group. To contact the show or for more information, hit us up at riverbendmediagroup.com.